What's up, y'all? It's your boy Spidey Studios here. Today we are here with a brand new video for the channel. This is another video from Playback. This is Don't Normalize This Woke TikTok Trend. I have no idea what this is about. I do not know the context of this video. I'm not sure what we're talking about, but we're going to find out. You guys will see this video and hopefully another Playback video that I did a little bit ago posted on the channel today. Without further ado, let's see what they're talking about.
A few weeks ago, I went to a self-love wedding. So my friend, Marcy, I love you, married themselves for their birthday. Everyone had to dress up as the opposite sex, or if you're non-binary, you got to choose. So here are some of those outfits. And here's mine. The ceremony was so beautiful. There was even a flower girl, and Marcy looked so beautiful. The whole ceremony made me want to cry. I did shed a few tears. But I was so happy to experience this and the love in the room.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you telling me that this girl and all these other people, clearly a part of the LGBTQ community and clearly a part of the the pronoun brigade, they really went to a wedding where this girl married herself? The girl marrying herself isn't really surprising to me because this has been done. There have been girls who've married their dogs. There was a girl who married a fucking sex doll once, and then there was a girl who married herself, I think, and then she divorced herself within like a couple hours. So this is not the first time I've heard about this, but TikTok just allows anything to be on that app at this point because this doesn't make any sense. Okay.
I personally think that's insanity, but they all look like they had a blast.
No, they're having a great time.
Clearly
They're having fun, man.
First off, I want to just say that I think it's wildly inappropriate that we teach children that you should grow up and marry someone else one day, but never think to teach children that they should probably marry themselves first. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, I wear a ring, but you could do anything. You could wear a necklace, you could get a tattoo, just something to symbolize your marriage to yourself. P.S. I did this right after a breakup, and it was something really important I needed to do for myself.
I'm pretty sure the person broke up with you because you're a fucking lunatic. Are you serious? Is this dude legit trying to advocate to tell kids that they should marry themselves before they marry other people? In all honesty, you really should not be teaching kids about marriage to begin with, because it should just be focusing on being kids. Just doing goofy nonsense like kids do, and sucking on toys and chewing stuff up and playing video games and being dumb, making mistakes. That's what kids do. Or let them make their imagination run wild. Literally, that's what kids do. Let them do that. Why are you teaching kids about marriage anyway? Now, if they're in high school, then that's a different subject. Or if they're in late middle school, let's say like between 6th to 8th grade, then that's understandable to teach them about that at that point. But if you're talking about 6th grade and earlier than that, then no. You should not be teaching kids about marriage. That should be the last thing on their mind.
And something you probably need to do for yourself right now, too. And I encourage you to write vows to yourself. Think about the things that you want someone else to promise to you. Promise them to yourself. But I used the quite traditional vows. I told myself that I was going to love myself through richer and poorer, through sickness and health, through all shapes and sizes of this body, till death do I leave this body. And I renew these vows every so often because we need to. I'd love to hear some of the things that you want to say to yourself in your own vows, and let's normalize.
So what do you say?
Okay. Before I hear their point, self-love is important. I'm not saying that you should not love yourself, because I feel like people take this whole self-love thing way too far and way too seriously. Self-love is important. It always will be important, honestly. You cannot love another person or give your all into another person until you love yourself for who you are. So that I absolutely agree. Regardless of your sexual identity or your gender identity or your political opinions, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. You should love yourself before even considering being involved with another person. I absolutely do agree with that. But then there's just people like these two examples that take this way more dramatic and way too far than it needs to be. And it's just, at this point, people are going to take this whole self-love thing a bit too drastic if it hasn't been taken there already.
Hey, that was just positive affirmations. That's cool. That's not marriage. You know,
No,
marriage
that's
is the
no.
union of two separate people.
No, it's not, bro.
You can't unionize yourself with yourself. You're already one.
Stop, bro. Stop.
Y'all have really been loving these self-love videos that I've been doing, and it's so crazy because I did not know how much self-love stuff that I did for myself until now that I'm speaking about it. But
she's a black woman into this self-love shit. Just marry a white nigga. Just do that. Like, literally no one's gonna hate you if you marry a white guy. Now, if you were a black man getting with a white woman, they would fucking destroy you. But just go marry a white dude. Marry a white man who will accept you for who you are. Just do that. You'll get a lot of the females supporting you. You get your community on your side. You don't have to do this self-love nonsense. And actually give yourself some kids and a legacy to leave behind. Like let your identity live on past you. Now, considering that you're into the self-love stuff and you're taking it way too far than you should be, you probably shouldn't be having kids. But even still, everyone deserves to have children, as long as you raise them in a financially stable household and teach them good values about not only to themselves but to other people around them.
But this video, I wanted to talk about my ring. And please ignore my nails because I'm literally trying to grow them out to the same length. So
I do not care.
Take care of the nails.
So in the beginning of 2021, I had this really random, crazy idea to basically get married to myself. So I literally had a matrimony ceremony where I had vows, I wore all white, and I married myself. I basically spent the entire day writing myself vows.
My thing is, why do people actually go through with this idiocy, this stupidity, this untold dumbness? Like, who goes through with this? Could you imagine if you have a kid, whether they're a male or a female, and they come to you saying that they want to have a marriage ceremony for themselves, and you're going to spend thousands, if not, like, you're going to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars setting a whole ceremony up, renting the venue, getting the dress, getting all the people to show up, get the tone set, get the DJ, whatever, just for your daughter or your son to marry themselves? Are you serious? I would not support that idiocy. If my son or daughter were to tell me that they wanted to marry themselves, I would laugh my ass off, and I think they would be out of their minds. I will not be a part of that nonsense. This stuff is stupid. What is in the water? What is in the water that y'all are drinking to think this way? Like, what is happening? Why are y'all trying to normalize this? Marrying yourself? Are you serious? Just don't get married. If you don't want to marry anybody, don't get married. No one's saying you have to. If anybody's telling you that you need to get married or that you should get married, that is not their choice. That is your choice. But if all else fails, don't marry yourself. That's even more embarrassing. That's more embarrassing. If you're not marrying someone, okay, who cares? Like, at this point, not everybody is destined to get married, especially in this day and age. But marrying yourself is even more embarrassing than just not being married altogether. You're not being married, that's fine. You're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting anybody else around you. But you marrying someone else is just a dumb thought that's just going to be in everybody's head for the rest of their lives around you.
That I know that I could stick to. And then on top of that, I bought myself a ring to basically give myself after reading myself my vows in the mirror. this ring was actually supposed to fit on my ring finger so that it would actually be like a wedding ring, but I don't have my ring size, so it's on my index finger, okay. But basically, I have not taken this ring off since then, and I will not be taking it off until somebody replaces it. Writing down a list of promises and vows to myself has really helped me.
So you're telling me that so you married yourself, but you still want someone to marry you. Something is in the water, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell is happening to our world right now, but something's in the water. It has to be. There's no fucking way that people actually on this planet think this way. And it's even more embarrassing because this woman is a black woman. She's an attractive black woman. She could pull any guy, realistically. This girl right here, she could pull anybody. I swear to you, she probably could. Any guy, probably, to a degree, would be wrapped around her finger. Even the girls would probably fawn at their heels to be with her. You're telling me that she bought into this nonsense and married herself, but then still wants someone to marry her? How does that work?
Hold myself accountable, especially when it comes to dating and just being gentle with myself and just self-love in general.
So she's
All
into
the
like
things that I do for
polygamous
self-love.
relationships?
No, she just married herself.
I get it, but like now she's married to herself. She can't be with no one else unless she's into
Right.
Because she's with
She should
herself.
have to divorce herself and then.
Unless
Right.
She's into polygamy. Divorcing yourself is gonna be very painful because you basically are saying like all those vows I made about me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Somebody else can do it better than me. Damn, I never thought about it like that.
That's almost like an existential crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, what do y'all do? You marry yourself and then you meet somebody else who can actually love you better than you.
But you know, there's some cultures where it's way more common to have like multiple wives or husbands.
I mean,
So she
obviously,
could just
yeah.
have like a wife,
That's true.
her, and then a husband, him.
Mm.
So
Or another way.
like,
It used to be more
Right.
normalized
For
back
sure.
in the day,
Yeah.
like thousands of years ago.
She-
It's
she
not a
could
normal thing
have
to
two
do
wives,
anymore.
Herself and her partner. So you never thought about that.
Never thought about that.
Exactly.
I think this is actually
Bored theory at its peak.
like
At its
bullseye
peak.
boredom theory
It's
because
just-
there's no one with actual issues marrying themselves.
Yeah.
People that like have to travel to get water long distances and it's not even clean water.
Yeah.
They don't even think of stuff like this because
I mean, to be honest with you, people with lives don't think about this.
yeah, most people with
No.
a job.
Yeah,
actually,
No.
If-
most
if-
people with a job
if
and
you
a
have to wake up
career.
and go to work, then
Yeah.
you probably don't have time to
You
think
don't.
about this.
This right here is just not passing your mental. All my time living on this earth, this never actually passed my mental. So,
No.
people who coexist in like normal society, who wake up, go to work, have healthy relationships with people outside themselves, and who aren't massively insecure, they don't think about this.
Is it like a mental illness? Because it's
I
like
think
that's
it's
what I'm trying to
massively
understand.
insecure. I think this is rooted in insecurities. I think there's just no other way.
I think it's rooted in pain.
That too.
Like y'all are so hurt
Yeah.
and sad, sometimes depressed that like
And like even the guy who said that we should normalize teaching kids to marry themselves, he literally said that he considered and actually married himself after a bad breakup, which does fit into the whole pain idea that okay, he went through a serious issue. Like you were in a relationship and you ended up breaking up with that person. And then your instinct was to marry yourself, to make yourself feel better. I'm sorry, there are way better things and way better ways to handle a breakup to actually benefit your life than marrying yourself. Like if I was to go through a breakup, which I have had multiple times, I've never once considered after my breakup with that person to marry myself. If anything, I consider just not dating altogether. Like just not dating, focus on what's important, which is me. And then if another relationship comes around and it's someone that I'm willing to put my all into, then that will happen. But until then, I should just focus on me. And that's all I have ever done. Every time I get out of a bad breakup, or just a breakup in general, the first thing I do when I get out of it is focus on me. Because at the end of the day, I am what's most important because I'm the one who's living in this life, who's living this way, the way that I'm living it. So, I just don't understand, what pain or suffering and struggle do you have to go through where considering marrying yourself is like a number one priority for you and one that you'd be willing to actually go forward and do. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I get being in a relationship is hard, and I get getting out of one is even harder. Like, I agree. Like, I'm not saying that my relationship is hard. Like, my relationship, luckily, so far as of right now, is easy. There's possibility that it could get difficult later on, but as of right now, I wouldn't say it's easy. I would say it's normal. My relationship, I guess, is normal. What I would normally expect, or what I would hope to expect to get out of a relationship, is what I have right now, which I appreciate and pray to all the struggles that I've been through, that I finally found someone that actually likes me for me and appreciates me for who I am and what I do and doesn't judge me for anything, just like I would not do for her to do to her. But I get that we all struggle, and we all handle that struggle in different ways, but this is just not the way to do it. Like, everybody struggles. Everybody has a moment in their life where they feel like there's nothing that they can do to pick themselves back up by their bootstraps and get their lives together. I get it. It's not easy. If this life were easy, everybody would be successful. If this life was easy, everyone would be successul. But not everyone is, and that's perfectly fine. Not everybody's meant to be successful. So I can't ever understand. I could never even be in a headspace after a breakup, a death in the family, or anything of that nature to consider marrying myself. Like, I don't know. It's not something I could see myself doing. If that's what you want to do, fine, but I still think it just doesn't make sense, and it's ridiculous to even think about.
To get yourself out of it, your version of self-love isn't like an Epsom salt bath or getting a massage. It's marrying yourself.
It's marrying yourself.
What the fuck?
I ain't gonna lie, not only does that, the level of loneliness is just like at a peak, but it just has to be rooted in insecurities.
Like, the last guy was cool. Like, positive affirmations. I was waiting for him to say like he threw a whole wedding or something like that. But she dead ass is saying she wore all white.
Yeah.
You had a ceremony to marry yourself.
The level of self-centeredness and loneliness that has to be in your life for you to get in front of a priest or whoever so they can read off your vows and I now name you wife and wife. Like that, like all that, like doing all that just for you to tell yourself to love yourself better.
You know, the irony
that's crazy.
The irony is, if your perfect person found out that you married yourself,
they might be like, okay. There's also true. Yeah. The reason why you're probably still married to yourself is because every time you got in a relationship with someone else, they were like,
so you married who?
Oh. Right?
Oh, I guess that's cool.
Imagine just that first date. Like, man, I hope this goes well because I'm really ready to sign those divorce papers. I mean, honest with y'all, I think that not only this is like level of boredom, but it's one or two things. It's either A, the level of narcissism that you have to marry yourself is just like through the roof. And I can't even imagine somebody having to love themselves or be so narcissistic to themselves that they actually put on a whole ceremony to show everybody else how much they love themselves. That's the definition of narcissism. Or B, the level of insecurity that you have to further confirm to yourself that you're actually worth, you have some level of value and you're worth something in this life, for you to grandstand and do that to the rest of the world or the rest of your friends or people that you know. Like, to do all of that just to basically identify that you have some level of self-value is crazy. Like, that is a deep rooted level of insecurity, and I think it's way more problematic than I think a lot of people are willing to acknowledge, especially if you're buying a ring. If you're buying, it's a lot. It's a lot for you to just do it. A lot of the stuff that they're talking about will be better exercise and just practice. Practice these things that you're claiming that you do. Yeah. Practice the ability to actually identify your value.
It's not and understand. You have to have a purpose for your life. Otherwise, you're gonna be self-loving yourself nonstop.
Yeah, facts.
Like, yo, go find a purpose, dog. Like, this is not normal. This is why do we have to normalize weird shit just because somebody's struggling? Like, this is not normal, dog. And that's cool. Like, you can love yourself. Most people, when you're getting those thoughts and you're like, man, maybe I can't do this thing. Maybe you're doubting yourself. They just do positive affirmations. They'll watch a self-help book or watch a motivational video. They'll talk to friends or family, or they'll just lock the fuck in and do it themselves. But never have I seen anybody that's sane think to themselves, yo, I'm gonna marry myself. Like, not even I'm gonna love myself. You should always love you. Go to therapy.
Exactly.
You got so much solutions. Deadass, what you need to do is you need to start with a brain scan because there's something wrong. So you might be able to identify what's going wrong in your brain. But if you can't with a brain scan, start eating healthier and taking supplements and stuff like that. You're deficient of something. Get one of those blood tests.
But like you're saying, though, these are all things that you're doing. You're
To
executing
figure out
something. Yeah,
why you're this deranged.
You're executing, though, regardless.
Correct.
What they're doing isn't even executing on the thing
No,
that
it's just fantasizing.
you're just fantasizing.
You're not even really marrying yourself. You're doing all the fucking ceremonial things.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You're already legally binded to yourself, dummy.
Like the point I'm making is, instead of saying vows of I'm going to love myself through richer and poor, just accept the fact that this is a part of who you are and maybe your phase and work towards it. But going out of your way to marry yourself and have a whole ceremony to accept that fact sounds like you just rather just do the ceremony and have the aesthetics of it instead of actually doing it. The problem that you have with struggling with loving yourself is the fact that you never execute on the things that you want to do. Instead, you're spending way too much time on the aesthetic or the concept of doing it.
You know what
that's a much bigger problem.
This is not normal, bro. This is not
This
normal.
this is not
It's not
normal.
normal.
You all have to like seek some form of help because this
But
is
no,
just not.
I was putting her on game real quick. Deadass, take the blood test. It's gonna tell you like everything about your body. You're gonna see areas you're deficient in, areas where maybe you got too much of something, and then you just adjust, and then optimize your life. Eventually, you feel me? Focus on your gut health. Your gut health is super duper important. It regulates a lot of the hormones in your body. If you're not feeling good, a lot of people think it's your brain. It might be your gut. Just focus, like fix issues, and then once you're back to normal and no longer insane, you won't think of marrying yourself as a solution to any of your problems because it doesn't fix shit, nor is it even a solution. It's not even a real thing. You're in your head. This is not, look, to a certain degree, I feel like if you're finding happiness doing something, go ahead and do it. And if people are reporting that they're leading to a happier life, then sure. Like, if this is making your life better, at the end of the day, like, don't let nobody tell you otherwise, okay? Like, niggas are gonna have separate opinions and shit like that. I just think this is deranged.
But why? But the only thing I have a problem with is if you need self affirmations, which is fine if that's what you need. I think that there's a much more productive way of doing it rather than having a whole ceremony. So I mean, it's not even if you want to just say you want to make promises to yourself, that's fine. To an extent, I think we all do that anyway. It's the taking the next step of I'm going to have a whole ceremony to show everybody how much I love myself. The level of fucking narcissism you have to be in to marry yourself instead of helping other people in the world is crazy.
Stop fucking giving niggas advice. Like, I hate when dumb niggas give advice. Stop advising people to do dumb shit. They advise people to do this, by the way. It's not like they said this is what I'm doing. They say, yo, you should do this too.
That is true, yeah.
They're trying to spread the plague.
Yeah, they are. They literally are.
Spread the polygamy plague.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro.
outta here.
Yo, just do better, be better, want better. But you don't have to marry yourself for that. Hey, everybody deals with that. We just don't marry ourselves, man.
I want y'all to marry that fucking subscribe button, though, man. Go ahead, marry that, and then while I fumbled.
You did, bro. Love yourself though through this. Love yourself through this.
I know.
Love yourself through this. You got this. All right, go ahead, go now.
I want y'all to marry that.
Fuck, bro. No, you got it though. But no, I know. You're a good YouTuber. You're a good content creator. You're well spoken. Okay. All right.
So.
Yeah. Pretty much everything they said hit the nail on the head. I don't know why, and my opinions also state that. I don't know why we live in a day and age where legit anything is possible, even stuff that you would never even consider to be something that people would actually do. This is something that people would actually do. People are actually legit on TikTok advising people to marry themselves because they think that's a better solution than actually finding a hobby, finding something you're passionate about that's actually productive, something that can actually benefit your life in better, different ways than this. Like, it's just, it's wild. But yeah, all I can simply say is in the words of Joey Swole, you need to do better. Like we all struggle. It's a struggle for all of us to exist on this planet. Trust me, it is not easy for anybody in any demographic of any race of any gender. It's not easy, but I feel like marrying yourself and having a whole ceremony where you're basically telling everyone that you love yourself, it's like he said, a level of narcissism, but not even just that. It just feels like you're taking the easy way out. Like, you're not solving the solution. You're not solving the problem. You're adding more to the problem, if anything. Like, you're adding on to your problems rather than actually trying to solve them. And that's just not what you should be doing. Like, in all honesty, I feel for these people. I really do. Like, I understand that we all struggle and we all go through serious breakups. I have as well. But if anything, I've always either just talked to myself out loud to get through my own issue, or I talk to someone I'm close to who I feel comfortable having the conversation with, or I talk to a parent, one of my parents, whoever I feel like talking to about it, or I go to a therapist. But I never once considered marrying myself. Like what? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just weird. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts and opinions are on this particular topic. Do you agree with the self-love stuff? Do you not? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video for your boy. Hit the subscribe button to be part of the community, and hit bell notifications so you guys know when I shall post next. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.